Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will try to implement the DAO layer. So let's get started. Now friends, we have the entity class. The entity class is nothing but the class which will symbolize the table, and the individual object of this class will symbolize a row in the database table. Alright. Then we have brands.java, which is nothing but your resource. This class is nothing but implementing the RESTful API, right? So this is important. Then we also have the service layer where we don't have the code. We will implement the code in a couple of minutes. And finally, we also have the configuration file where we have the things which Hibernate will need in order to connect with the database. All right, so this is good. Now friends, in our setting up video, I did a small little mistake. In here, the list would be not of brands, it would be based on the entity class, right? So our entity class is something which will definitely symbolize a row in the database table. So let me fix this particular error. So in here, it would be list of brand entity. Let me make the changes. And now let us also fix the service layer. So in here, again, the method will return a brand entity object list. All right, so this is cool. All right, so now moving forward, let us quickly fix the service layer. So in our service layer, we will do nothing but interacting with the DAO layer. So first of all, let us quickly create a package for our DAO layer. So it would be inside our Hibernate package. So let me give you the package structure. It would be org.studyeasy.showroom.hibernate.dao. Let me create this package real quick. Alright, and inside this DAO package, we will create a new class, and the name of the class would be brands DAO, and we will click on finish. Alright, so this is good. Alright, in our service layer, we will create an object of this particular DAO layer and we will interact. In fact, there is one more thing. Whenever we interact with, for example, in here, we are interacting with this service layer. In every method, we are creating a new object, right? And in every method, if we are creating a new object, rather it would be good if we create a object for once. So it would be like brands service equals new brand service. Here we go. And using this object service, we will interact with our service layer. So let me fix these small little changes in our brands.java file real quick. So these are small little changes which I am doing, and these are definitely good to know information that how we can code efficiently. Alright, so this is again a way of fixing and optimizing the code. Alright, so this is good. Now inside of a service, again, we will first of all create an object. So it would be like brands DAO equals new brands DAO. Alright, so this looks good, and using this object data access object DAO, we will definitely interact with our DAO layer. So it would be like DAO dot get brands. Here we go, and this will return a list of a brand entity type. So first of all, let us create a list. It would be list of brand entity. The name of the list would be list, and we will receive the information which we receive from this method in this list, and finally we will return the list. So this would be logic of the service layers get brands method. And now finally let us hover upon this particular method, and let us ask Eclipse to create this method inside our DAO layer. Alright, later down the line we will implement the business logic inside our DAO layer. Alright, again let us navigate to the service layer. In here again we will do what? We will simply call in our DAO layer. We will add a brand, and we will pass in the object to this method. Here we go. Again, we will create this method inside our DAO layer. Likewise, we will do the same for the update brand method. So in here, what we will do, We will again call in the DAO layer. We will call in the method update brand, and we will pass on update brand object, and finally let us do the same for delete brand method. So it would be again like DAO dot delete brand, and we will simply pass on the ID. So it would be like brand ID. Very simple, right? Now let me quickly hover and fix these issues, and we are good to go. Our service layer is good enough. Now finally let us navigate to our DAO layer and let us start programming. First of all, we need to create a factory object. So it would be like session factory equals new configuration dot configure. Now friends, to this particular method configure, we will pass on our hibernate cfg.xml file. So it's inside our resource folder. The location is very important. We must keep this file inside the resource folder, and we will pass on the exact name of the file. Then we need to add the annotated class. So in here it would be like add annotated class. Now in here the annotated class is what? The annotated class is very important. This is our entity class which will symbolize the database table, and a object of this class will symbolize a row in the database table. So this is very important to give the annotated class properly. So the name of the annotated class is brand entity. Let us give the name, and we will give the class of this particular class, and then finally we will build the session factory, and the basic session configuration is done. And in our next video, by taking help of this factory object, we will implement the business logic in our methods which are there in this particular class. Alright, so we will implement the business logic of the DAO layer in our next video, and hopefully we would be able to create a RESTful API which connects with the database and which interact with the database. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.